3,300, climbing altitude 5,000.
Trouble 2958 London, Roger, squawk high, fly heading 100 degrees.
So I'm just going to do that the whole time. Alright, so we can taxi to the white line.
Okay.
Yeah. So before you release the parking brake, you want to go all the way back to idle power with the throttle so we don't shoot forwards, that's it. And then release the parking brake, have a really good look out, check the apron's clear. That's it, so you don't have to press a button, you just lift the brake, that's it. Heels on the floor, and then just starts to come forwards before the engine shuts off. Okay, alright, so you have control?
I have control.
And you want to check your brakes as soon as possible. Come to a complete stop.
Yep, brakes are set.
Okay, and again, just keep the engine live. So I have control.
You have control.
I'll check my brakes now.
Circo 30 to Absolute Alpha 1.
My brakes are working. You have control.
I have control.
That's great. You can set the parking brake as well. And then we'll bring the power back up to 1200 RPM.
Parking brake on. To 1200.
Lovely. Okay, so have you done radio? You haven't done radios before, have you?
I've not done radio. No.
Okay. Do you want to do a call? I mean, this first initial call will be difficult, so I'll do the initial call. But I mean, if you want to do the call later on at the holding point,
Yeah, sure.
just so you've got a little bit of exposure to it. Okay. Right. Okay. So I'm just going to check the volume. Durham Tower, Golf Charlie, Echo, X-Ray, Oscar, Hangar 3 West, request clearance and taxi.
Golf Charlie, Echo, X-Ray, Oscar, Durham Tower. After departure, left turn, clear to leave controlled airspace north. Not above altitude 1,500 feet, VFR, squawk 7037.
After departure, left turn, clear to leave the zone on track north. Not above altitude 1,500 feet, VFR, squawk 7037, Golf X-Ray, Oscar.
Golf X-Ray, Oscar, clear, taxi holding point Charlie, runway 05, QNH 1022.
Taxi Charlie 05, QNH 1022, Golf X-Ray, Oscar. Okay, so all you need to do, as you're doing already, is process the information. So you've got 1022.
1022.
And that is reading 120 feet exactly,
Yep.
so that's great, that's our elevation. And you've also got a squawk of 7037. You can already preset that into your transponder if you so wish. You press the enter button to, so that enter button just there, that's it, that highlights the digit. Okay, that's great, so that's set, ready to be switched on. We're going to the runway. Okay, excellent. So, by the way, the bottom defrost here, the cabin heat, is for the windscreen and the top one is for the feet.
Right.
So it's the other way around to what you would imagine. Right, okay, so if you're ready,
Ready.
we're going to taxi out to Charlie for runway 05. I've got an airport diagram here.
Actually, Charlie, I've not done Charlie Port Alpha, I have.
So Charlie's down here, so it's a right turn, taxiing across the apron, the main apron, down to Hollywood Charlie.
18 Tower, cross runway 05, Seagate 13.
No, it's the first time down here for me. It's always been Alpha 1.
Alright, okay. Alright, lovely. So you probably want to just come back a little bit on the power, so you can squirt a little bit of power on and then come back to idle, let it free roll a little bit just to keep the speed down. You want a fast walking pace, particularly as you're going past other aircraft and on a crowded apron, but obviously as you get onto a bigger stretch you can just up that speed a tiny little bit. And then we want to start thinking about the taxi checks, which is a memory item off the checklist. Oh look, that's an AT3 or something, I think. That's from Sherburn. We're getting something similar to that actually. Ooh. Getting a light sport aircraft. Look, it's got his recognition light on there. Okay. So how I think of the taxi checks is BIRD, B-I-R-D.
Okay.
Like your bird. So B stands for brakes. We've already checked the brakes on the apron. So brakes are working. I is instruments. So as you're turning on a natural bend on the taxiway, so as you're turning left here, I'm going to show you the instrument checks. So as you're turning left, you'll see the needles displays to the left and the ball to the right on the turn coordinator. All headings are decreasing on both the DI and the compass, and the horizon's stable. And similarly, as you start to turn right, you can slow down ever so slightly so you can see this. Turning right, needle right, ball left, all headings increasing, and horizon stable.
Golf X-ray Oscar, if you require full length departure, taxi Delta 2.
Roger, we'll take Charlie Golf X-ray Oscar.
Roger.
So give me the option to go to the end of the runway, yeah, but...
Yeah, okay. But the performance isn't adversely affected, so we're going to be fine.
Okay.
Enough takeoff run required. That's cool. So we've done the instrument checks.
Yep.
So now we're talking about R. R is rudder. Now, with the rudder, just like you'll have checked full and free movement on the control wheel, and as you're about to do that as part of the vital actions, you want to check full rudder, both full left and full right. The only way of really doing this is going to idle power, trying to slow down as best you can.
Yeah.
So if you go all the way back to idle and try and slow down a little bit, and I'll try and demonstrate this to you. So I have control. It's a little bit difficult to do it, particularly when there aren't that many turns on the taxiway. So if I come left first and then go full left, so that's full left for me.
Yep.
And then I can go full right as well. That's full right. So that's full and free movement checked on the rudder. Okay, so you have control again.
Control.
Hold position. After departure, make a right turnout.
Ball left.
Leave controlled airspace southeast VFR.
Ball right.
Yeah, you can see it's a little bit too effective, so that's why you've got to slow down and do it, give yourself plenty of room. Okay, so if you head towards the yellow X there, and then we're going to aim to spin it round. So if you now go full left now, and use a bit of differential braking as well, that's great. Keep coming round a little bit. Alright, that'll do then. You can straighten up, and then apply your brakes, set your parking brake, and then bring the power back up to 1200 RPM.
Okay, departing southeast and squawk 7.
So the D part of Bird is differential braking, so you would do that as you're kind of coming into it, if you can on the taxiway, or if you need to, positioning for the power check. So as you can see, we've cocked the aircraft 45 degrees to the taxiway, primarily to stop our slipstream from affecting any of the vehicles or aircraft parked behind us, and also when we do bring the power up to 2000 RPM, if the brakes do fail, then we overshoot onto the grass as opposed to the active runway. So that's your taxi checks complete. That is a memory item, so just remember Bird and have a look at that again. Alright?
Okay. Okay, so we're parked into wind, brake is on, throttle is at 1200, near enough. Fuel, we're going to change to the right tank where the fuel is the most.
Okay, and as you do that, switch the fuel pump on first. That's it.
Cross to right. Does the fuel pump stay on, or is it...
then it comes off again.
Comes off, yeah.
And as you do, just check the fuel pressure remains.
Okay.
Tower, Golf Alpha Yankee Alpha,
covering the brakes.
Tango,
Throttle up to 2000, nothing behind, all clear.
Alpha Yankee, Alpha Whiskey.
You might also want to just position your hand on the control wheel to stop it from flapping around with the slipstream.
1,300 feet, QFE 1018.
Brakes are holding.
7010.
Carb heat, operate.
So if you just nudge it up to 2000 a little bit, another 100, a little bit more.
Yeah, okay. Carb heat on. There's a drop, 75. Back off.
Whiskey, circuit, VFR, not above 1,300.
Where are we? Okay, magnetos in turn. Set both at the moment, to the left.
Alpha Whiskey, correct.
Okay, drop,
Delta
back to both.
805, report ready for departure.
Back up. To the right. Drop, back to both. Suction gauge is between the reds. Engine T's and B's all in the green arcs. Oil temperature climbing. Set back down to idle. And reset to 1200.
Okay, so if you bring it back down to idle again, as you do so, you can see that the suction pump the suction falls off, but we've got a backup pump there. So if you press the auxiliary vacuum pump in now, you can see that there's a backup pump and it's working, and you can turn it back off again and then bring it back up to 1200.
Superb.
So we've got a backup suction pump in case we need it.
Okay, trim is set for takeoff as it was, yet neutral. Throttle is finger tight. A bit loose, there we go. Mixture fully rich. Magnetos. Again, magnetos in turn, so left.
Okay, so just when you get to that, that's only just check your magnetos are on both. So
Yeah.
ensure on both, that's it. So it's not
Yeah,
actually
on both,
physically checking them. That's
Just
great,
both,
so
yeah.
both good.
So you still do left and right, so
No.
yeah. No.
No, so
Okay.
it's just on both. So the first one you do, just as you start the engine, you're checking
Yeah.
it's gross error to make sure both are working, and then the power checks is to make sure that they're working within limits,
Right,
and that's
no
it.
worries, okay.
And now all you're doing is checking that they're on both.
Okay. So pitot heat we're not touching, master switches all on, magnetos are done in turn already. Primer, fuel pump on. Flaps set as required, we're not using them today,
Not
no?
required, no.
Okay, instruments check are set.
Okay, so yeah, it's going back to the instrument panel again, and you can see it tells you HI, so we've got a DI direction indicator. So again, you're checking this against your compass. We've got 110 on here.
Okay. Those cells.
And that agrees with the DI, okay?
Yep.
Your attitude indicator, you're making sure that your wings are actually on the horizon, they already are. And the altimeter, we've got the correct pressure setting there, 1022. That's
Yep.
set as...
Engine T's and P's, everything is in the green.
and then your enunciator
Elimination.
panel is here, and we check that it is clear. So we wouldn't actually check, sorry, we wouldn't press the test.
But checking is clear.
We're checking it's clear, there's no flags of warning that's come up yet.
Radios, avionics set as required. You got it on the tower.
Okay, yeah, so we've got tower, we've got radar, and we've also got the squawk set.
Brilliant. Hatches, ensure doors are locked, windows are secure. Storm windows closed, yours is closed.
All secure.
Harnesses.
Charlie Yankee holding point
Is locked.
ready for departure.
Carpet off, operate if necessary,
Charlie
set to
Yankee,
cold.
via Delta 1, line
It
up
is
05.
cold and off. Controls, ensure free and
Say again,
full
Golf Charlie
movement.
Yankee.
Okay,
To the
as
front.
you get.
Charlie Yankee, via Delta 1, line up runway 05.
Line up runway 05, Golf Charlie.
The beat us to it. And then when you finish, bring it all the way to the right again, so where you started from, and then back to neutral.
Brilliant.
Alright.
Yeah.
Great, so that's your pre-takeoff checks complete. We're now on the takeoff, which is a memory item, so if you pop that underneath you.
On stand 8 has information.
Right, I'll tell you what,
Request taxi.
I'll give them a call so that we can get out of here.
Delta Echo,
ASAP, get some air in here.
QNH 1022.
1022.
Cheeky,
Hold position.
nice guy has jumped ahead of us.
Charlie Yankee, cleared
Oh, was it?
surface wind 350.
I don't know, it's like that guy
Oh, is that that one from Sherburn?
Yeah.
Say again,
That
Golf
nice
Charlie.
guy who's probably watching the YouTube video has jumped ahead of us. What a gentleman.
506 knots.
Take off, Golf Charlie.
Golf Bravo Oscar, Delta Echo, your zone clearance when you are ready to copy.
Ready, Golf
great.
Echo.
Golf Bravo Oscar, Delta Echo, after departure make a right turn. Clear to leave controlled airspace southeast.
So what you would do, in fact,
Not above altitude 1,500 feet.
just going to
Squawk
relax that pressure a little bit. What you would do is you would cock the aircraft towards
7045.
the direction of final approach so that you can have a really good view and a really good lookout to see if there's any traffic on final, any traffic taking off.
Tracker correct, departing southeast.
So you would stop, look and listen.
Yeah.
Okay, just like the cross-country code. have a listen out, see if there's anything coming in, and then we're going to give him a call.
Correct, VFR, Golf Delta.
Golf X Roscoe, Charlie, ready departure. So you have control.
I have control.
You want to put your feet on the brakes?
X Roscoe, line up 05.
Line up 05, Golf X Roscoe. So the first thing you're looking for is to make sure the stop bar is out, which it is.
Yep.
If it was a lighted stop bar, then you would stop. You can see the wigwags as well, guarding over the runway. And then you're checking again, just clear on final approach, there's nothing there. Okay, so if you put your hand on the control wheel, on the throttle, and then you can taxi onto the runway, and we'll line up. What you want to do, you want to switch your strobe lights on.
Airborne departing southeast,
Yeah.
clear takeoff, surface wind 3506 knots.
Copy traffic, and clear takeoff, Golf X Roscoe. Okay, so, just line up on the runway centre line. So the lining up checks are ATPL, so A is alignment, which we'll check when we get onto the runway centre line. T is transponder, so you can switch that onto alt now. P is pitot heat, not required, that's it, just keep lining up onto the centre line. And L is landing light, which is already on, that's great, so just keep coming onto the centre line. Lovely, if you put your hand on the control wheel then,
Okay.
just want to rotate the control wheel slightly to the left. So just wherever the windsock is pointing from. Okay, so looking to the far end of the runway, you can now smoothly increase power all the way to full. So all the way to full now, all the way to full, all the way to full.
63 Alpha, start.
That's great.
H102.
Keep going all the way to full. Keep following the runway sense line using the rudder pedals, and we're just keeping the aileron into wind. There we go. That's it. So just keep holding the aileron there. That's great. Engine T's and P's checked, RPM checked, and airspeed's alive at 55, 60 knots now. You can neutralise your aileron and start easing back on the control wheel and rotate.
118.850.
So pull back on the control wheel. Okay, that's good. That's great. A shallow climb attitude initially. Just to accelerate, that's great, and now back into the climb, so just keep pulling back on the control wheel. Okay, does it feel a bit alien?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay,
very.
don't worry about it, just look straight out. Throwing you straight into the deep end. Okay, that's great, the pitch attitude's great. Try not to use the rudder quite so much, just small movements on the rudder. Just keep the picture looking the same, that's great. Okay, so we've passed through 200 feet AGL. You can now switch the landing light off, which I'll do for you. On the recognition light, engine T's and P's checked. Just try keep the wings level. And it's either 500 feet or the airfield boundary. We're just coming up to the airfield boundary now. So clear right, clear centre, clear left. And you can start to turn slightly to the left during the climb. So just ease back on the control wheel a little bit. Keep the nose higher than the horizon. That's great. Just a tiny amount of bank. That's great. And we'll just keep coming to the north, keep turning to the left, that's great. You see where the reservoir is, just have a really good look out.
Same.
And we'll climb up to 1,300 feet, so you can keep coming left. Looks really clear to the north. That's looking good. And just aim to level off at 1,300 feet. That's great, you can roll wings level there. And you just want to come ever so slightly to the right. And just start to level off there, so just select and hold the altitude.
Oscar, contact to drum radar 118.850.
Radar 118.850, Golf X Roscoe. And bring back the power now by sound and feel to your cruise power setting. That's it, keep bringing it back slightly, ever so slightly, a little bit more, that's great. And just keep looking straight ahead. You want to turn slightly to the right now. Firm radar, Golf Charlie Echo X-ray Oscar, level 1,400 feet, maximum 3,500. And just keep pushing forward.
Radar, good afternoon, no level restrictions VFR.
No level restriction VFR, Golf X-ray Oscar. Okay.
You say 1,300, didn't you?
Yeah, it's fine, we'll stay level at 15, that's fine. So you just want to bring the power back a little bit more, a couple of hundred RPM by sound and feel. That's great. Okay, so you see where the wind turbines are in the distance. We're just aiming for those, just to be slightly to the left of those, so we'll just turn slightly to the right. That's looking good. And you can roll wings level there.
Get radar, please, 36.
Okay, so that was a really fast kind of like, where am I, what just happened, don't worry too much.
New York clear 20 controlled airspace VFR.
Yeah.
QFE 10.
Okay, so we'll just stay level at 1,500 feet. All you're doing is checking the pitch attitude to your altimeter, pitch attitude to altimeter, wings to direction.
Yeah.
Wings to direction. The power still sounds a little bit high to me, so if you bring it back a little bit more by sound and feel, that's great, it sounds better that.
Golf Charlie Yankee.
I'm trying not to look at the RPMs at all, I'm trying to like say that.
Yeah, that's it, yeah, you want to set it by sound and feel, and then you can just glance at it, and that's about right there, about 2,400 RPM.
0401.
Okay, so we're above 1,000 feet, above the ground, so you can switch the fuel pump off now.
Fuel pump off.
Check the fuel pressure remains, which it does, that's great, and we'll just keep heading in this direction. Just try and get yourself back down to 1,500 feet.
63 Alpha is outbound VFR towards the Lake District. Med 63 Alpha, Durham radar, good afternoon, no level restrictions, VFR. 63 Alpha. Golf Charlie Yankee, contact Leeming radar 133.375, good day.
Contact Leeming radar 133.375, Golf Charlie Yankee, thank you, Peter.
Okay, great. That's good, so just select 1,500 feet, stay straight and level. And you may need to trim. If you do need to trim, then just sense the force and then course trim by approximation.
I think that's actually quite,
yeah.
That's fine, yeah.
Okay, cool. It looks beautiful, doesn't it?
It's crazy.
It looks unbelievable. Look at that.
That's miserable.
What is going on? Alright, so we'll have a look at a climb then.
Okay.
So we'll climb up to 2,500 feet.
Okay.
So, do you remember the climb?
Yeah, well, I'm sure if I get it wrong, you'll correct me, but...
okay, great.
So, good lookout. Engine T's and B's and everything. And then full power into the climb.
Okay.
So, power up. Power on. Attitude. Just above the horizon there.
The Halimed's approximately 3 miles to the north of you, westbound, similar level.
Okay.
Coming up 2,000, so level off at the top of the 1,000.
Yeah, we'll keep climbing.
A couple of miles to the south of you, northbound.
So remember to trim.
6 Alpha, 21 Seacast.
And then we'll keep climbing. That's fine. Yeah, and you can have a look out if you need to. And then check, adjust as necessary and retrim. So as you can see, we're at 85 knots. So all you need to do is just slightly adjust the attitude, hold it, refine your trim. Try not to stare too much at this. Just look straight out. That looks good. You need a tiny little bit of right rudder as well. Keeping your wings level. Look at that. That's dead on. That's great. Okay, so we'll aim to level off at 2,500 feet.
Anticipating it. Bring it.
Yeah, by about 50 feet.
Bit too, she felt a bit too early. There we go.
Excellent, lovely. Alright, so just give me a little turn to the left. Golf X Oscar, leaving us there.
Golf X Oscar, thank you. Basic service time 1017.
Basic service time 1017, Golf X Oscar. Okay, that's
6 Alpha, you've left control airspace, basic service time 100, correction 1017.
Basic service, second, please, the regional.
Time 1017.
1017, Helimed 6 Alpha.
lovely.
And I thought the takeoff was going to be exciting.
Just threw you straight in without any armbands on, didn't I?
I remember you saying something last time about next time we'll take off, and I was like, oh yeah, exciting, but Jesus. I mean, it was fun, but...
Yeah. Oh, you won't remember anything from it, but at least you've been exposed to it, so that's it can only get better. Alright, so if you just want to bring me a little bit to the left, we'll head towards the west.
Okay.
It's looking mighty fine.
Very nice now.
And then we'll do when we roll onto a suitable heading, we'll do another climb up to 3,500 feet. So all your airmanship points were great just before entering the climb. You checked your engine T's and P's, checked the mixture was rich, but also checked the car beat as well.
Right.
4 seconds, okay. You can roll wings over alert. And what I'd like to do now is just carry out a cruise check.
So free to go on the tubes.
That's it. Yeah.
Fuel. We're on the right tank. Radios are set. Engine T's and P's are still in the green.
And you can check your carb again
Yep.
whenever you check your engine T's and P's.
All the bananas. Off. Okay, we're flying 290 on the air. This is 290, and we're holding steady at 2,500 feet.
Okay, cool. On 1022, so on the QNH, we have been given the barrier, so we'll remain on the QNH for the time being.
Okay.
We'll just have a really good scan, a really good lookout, starting all the way behind your right hand shoulder, scanning up and down the sky, all the way back to the centre, and as you get to the centre, just go back to your work cycle, check the pitch attitude to your altimeter, and wings to direction or to DI, so in this case we'll stay on 290. We've got a gas venting site just down there to our left, which is a restricted area up to 3,000 feet, so we'll make sure we don't fly over that at 2,500, so we'll just keep to the right of that.
What is that, sorry?
A gas venting site.
Ah, I see, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so when you're ready, we'll enter into the climb back up to 3,500.
Okay. So good look around. Done that now. Engine T's and P's, all in the green, power on. Into the climb.
Okay, so I'll just cover these up for the time being. That's a good attitude, that's a great attitude there. And then trim that attitude. Close enough, getting there. Remember a little bit of right rudder as well.
Bit more trim. Level off, quick look around. All is good, back into the climb.
Okay, so just watch your airspeed. It's getting a little bit low, so that's just the attitude. Just readjust that slightly. And then retrim. A little bit more right rudder. So just slightly adjust your attitude. Just at 75, you want another 4 knots.
Slightly forward. And drop it.
So you don't want to trim
Sorry, yeah.
just yet
down.
before you set your power. That's it. Okay, that was fine. The only thing is we just wandered off the heading by about 30 or 40 degrees there.
Right.
About 20, 30 degrees maybe, so just try to keep your wings level. Remember that you need to balance as well with the ball. Okay, great. So if you want to come slightly to the left, straight into sun.
Lovely.
We'll head towards Bishop. I think that's Bishop down there, isn't it? Yeah. And then we'll have a look at the descent. So this is exercise 8, which is descending. Just have a really good look out as well.
6 Alpha, we'll lose you very shortly. 53 call London information.
The aim of the exercise is to descend at the recommended speeds. We'll have a look at descending. You can roll wings level there.
475. Speak to you
So
later.
you just roll wings level there. We'll have a look at descending at the best glide speed, which is, do you remember what that was?
75 knots.
That's it, nice one. 75 knots with idle power. Airmanship, the most important aspect of airmanship.
Look out.
Look out. Another aspect of airmanship as well for this exercise is altimeter pressure setting. So we're on the QNH. Engine T's and P's as well. So remember that when we're at idle power for a prolonged period of time, we need to warm the engine here and there.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I have control.
You have control.
So it's climbing in reverse. Going to do my airmanship points just before entering into the descent. So checking my engine T's and P's, all in the green. Carb heat. Have a really good lookout all around, particularly below. Carb heat goes on. Power back to idle, and just initially hold the height just to allow your aeroplane to just to allow the speed to slow down. I'm coming back to 85 knots now. There's 80 knots, so now I'm just going to lower the attitude slightly, select and hold an attitude. I'm not bothered about my airspeed just yet. And trim. So power, attitude, trim. Check. Okay, so we're at 80 knots. We're a little bit 5 knots too fast. Adjust as necessary. Only slight, minute adjustments. And trim. So re-trim. So we're at 75 knots. On a heading of 230, and the ball's balanced. So for the maintenance of the descent, all I'm doing is lookout, attitude, keep the picture looking the same, and instruments, airspeed indicator and ball. Lookout, attitude, instruments, that's the work cycle, familiar work cycle. Once the big hand points through the 12 o'clock position, it points up, so all we do is look out. And then as it points through the, we'll just pretend it's pointing through the 6 o'clock position now, it's pointing down, so we look at the engine T's and P's, but then we remember to warm the engine. So all I'm going to do is take the carb heat off and go full power and maintain 75 knots. You'll need some right rudder now with the application of full power, maintaining 75 knots for 4 seconds. So 1 banana, 2 banana, 3 banana, 4 banana, carb heat back on, and then reduce the power, and then lower the nose back into 75 knots. Happy?
Yep. Have you lowered the nose, when you've reduced power there, have you lowered
I've
the nose?
lowered the nose, yeah.
Okay.
So you have control.
I have control.
Just maintain the descent, 75 knots. Remember, you'll need a little bit of left rudder, as applicable. That's great. Keep a really good lookout. Lookout, attitude, instruments, altimeter and ball. Okay, so I have control.
Yeah,
and
control.
To level off, all I'm doing is taking the carb heat off, and it's past the cat again. So power back to the cruise power setting by sound and feel. Attitude, select and hold the straight and level attitude. You can see the airspeed starting to increase now. I'm having to exert some more pressure forwards, some more right rudder, and then trim.
Delta Oscar, basic service, Barnsley 1015.
Check, adjust as necessary, and retrim. I'm just going to turn us slightly out of sun.
Golf Bravo Oscar, Delta Echo, we're doing radar radio check.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, alright, cool.
Well, I'm happy you're getting out the sun.
Bravo, Delta Echo.
Yeah, me too.
Golf Delta Echo, thank you. Basic service to Barnsley 1015, squawk 0401.
Okay, so in fact I'm going to get you to climb us back up again so that we can do another descent.
Repeat the squawk, Golf Delta Echo.
Squawk 0401.
0401.
Alright, so you have control. How many times is it going to say squawk 0401? Alright, so you may need to just put it back into trim again, so I'll let you just get it nice and settled down.
There we go.
Okay. Okay, so if you want to enter into the climb,
Golf Delta
we'll go up to 3,000 feet.
133.37.
So if you just take the power back again, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Alright, so yeah, you're going the right way. You just need to do your airmanship checks again. So engine T's and P's check, mixtures rich, carb heat, and then lookouts if you just do that before you enter into the climb.
All the green, carb heat off.
And you would physically check the carb heat.
Right.
And then turn it off. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So power on. Up. A little bit of left rudder.
Okay, and we'll stay in a heading of 080 degrees. So obviously don't fixate on that, but just try and keep your wings level.
Oh, wrong one.
Okay, so yeah, so if the ball's out to the right, you just need a little bit of right rudder, and you will just need to just place your foot on the right rudder pedal. Keep yourself on 080, so keep your wings level. 80 knots, so just lower the attitude slightly. Keep your wings level, see, there you go. So back up to 080. Okay, so with the attitude, just keep the picture looking the same, so the attitude level in the same picture. That's better, that's more steady.
So it was 79, 80 knots, wasn't it?
79, yeah, so round it up to 80 knots, yeah, and we'll keep climbing up to 3,500 feet. It's looking good. Again, just need a tiny little bit more right rudder, just compensate for that, keep the wings level. That's great.
Yeah, I think I've been pulling back too far, haven't I? I've been climbing too high.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah, a tiny bit, yeah.
I think it's just forgot the speed.
Okay, and we'll level off at 3.5.
Trimmed.
Okay, that's nice. Just bring me to the left again, we'll just head to the north again. And you can keep coming towards those wind turbines.
Okay.
To your left. Lovely, camera was over. Alright, so you're up.
Brilliant.
You can enter into the descent when you're ready.
Okay. So a good look around. Engine T's and P's. Copy on.
Okay, so we're going to leave the carby on because we're going to idle power.
But leave it on. Down to idle.
And then ease back on the control wheel to slow down, to keep pulling back on the control wheel so you don't start descending yet. Hold the height. You're looking for 80 knots, and then that's when you can allow the nose to drop into the descent.
Okay. 80 knots, dropping down now.
Just a little bit, that's it. And then just trim that, so don't even look at your airspeed, just trim that picture.
Okay.
We'll keep on this heading of 350, that was cool.
75. A bit left, brother. Pull, put down.
That's it. And you'll only need minute changes, and when you do change it, just retrim. So where you've got it there, just hold it there and then trim.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. The power on?
Yep.
Heat, yep. So a good look around. Engine T's, P's all in the green. Carb heat off. Full power up.
All the way to full.
Right rudder.
All the way up to full. All the way to full, that's it. Carby back on. All the way back to idle. Lower the nose. Back to the picture you had before. Keep it on 350. So it's quite hard to coordinate that manoeuvre. But it's much more effective than just whacking a little bit of power on during the descent. Just come back onto your heading 350. So you'll need to come left.
That's embarrassing. That's definitely being edited out.
No, you got to keep it in. Okay, that's cool. And then you can level off at 2,000 feet.
Durham, good afternoon. It's Golf India, India, November, India.
Golf India, India, November, India, Durham radar. Good afternoon, pass message.
Good afternoon again, sir. This Golf India, November India is an RV9A, Scorpio 7000. Just departed from Fishburn en route back.
I remember when you're levelling off, it's power, attitude, trim, checker, just trim. So power, so carb it off first, power to cruise power settings, squeeze the power on, more power, more power, more power. We're going to level off there. So bring it all the way up to full, and then a little bit back.
India, what level are you looking to transit control there?
That's it.
If possible, 3000 please.
And just select a straight and level attitude from there.
Affirm. If you transit not below 2,500 feet, then please on the Durham QNH 1022.
Not below 2,500 feet, 1022. Copy, Golf November India.
Golf November India, squawk 704.
Okay.
So it's easy to forget, you think, oh, just select the attitude, but you've got to go power, attitude, trim, checker, just trim. That's great.
Overhead.
Okay, and then enter back into the climb then for me.
At that level, there's no track restriction.
Good look around.
Oh, great.
All is clear. Engine T's and B's, all in the green. Power on. All the way up into the climb.
And we'll stay on this heading again.
Knots.
And we'll climb back up to 3,000 feet. If you want to just enter, just turn to the right slightly. So I know we haven't done turns yet, so just we'll just need to position ourselves. That should be
radar, Golf Charlie Bravo Alpha
that's good, you
Romeo.
can roll things over there. And we'll keep climbing. Yeah, we'll go up to 3,000.
Golf Charlie Bravo Alpha Romeo.
Say 3,000, 3.5.
3.
Okay.
Okay, great. If you want to carry out another cruise check.
Okay. Fuel, right tank, fuel.
And we'll just stay on this heading 060.
Radio. Got nothing there, where's the squelch?
You just need to pull it out
Yeah,
and then turn it up.
Alright, gotcha.
Okay. So it needs to be a bit louder. There we go.
Brilliant. Okay, engine T's please, green. Direction radar 050.
1912, squawk 4533.
050, altitude 3,000 feet.
Okay, cool. With your fuel, we'll just balance the fuel out, so we'll go to the other tank now.
Okay.
Remember, you need to switch the fuel pump off.
Fuel
That's it.
pump on. Left tank.
Excellent.
Fuel
Back
pump
off again, and then check your fuel pressure remains. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll come back to the right. I don't like us going north of Durham, really. Having a really good look out.
Traffic in your 10 o'clock, approximately 5 miles opposite direction, indicating flight level 80.
That's fine there.
1912, contact leaving radar 118.550.
Okay, so you're happy with that? I mean, we'll practice that again on the way back in. What I'd like to show you though is
Durham T's, good afternoon.
is descending with power.
Okay.
Lima Bravo.
So we're going to
80, looking for
target a certain rate of descent and a certain airspeed. Okay. So I have control.
You have control?
So
85 Lima Bravo, Durham radar.
let's target
traffic surface.
90 knots at 500 feet per minute. Okay.
Okay.
So if you remember, which control
Lima Bravo, firm descent.
affects the airspeed? Which part controls the airspeed?
Yeah, control stick gate on.
Say again?
Your altitude, your control stick.
Elevator, yeah.
Yeah.
Controlled airspace.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm looking for the words. They're there. They're there. Just
Yeah, that's
muscled up.
Yeah, no worries.
Golf Charlie Bravo Alpha Romeo, Durham radar, flash message.
Let's just get.
Golf Charlie Bravo Alpha
So that's the power setting. Can you hear the sound there?
Yeah.
That's the power setting needs to be. That's where we just descend a little bit there. So,
Derwent Reservoir, Barnard Castle, and then back to Fishburn.
same as before.
Overhead Durham.
Engine T's and P's, mixture's rich. Let's check the carby.
Basic service, Golf Charlie Bravo Alpha Romeo.
Have a really good look out. But on this occasion, I'm going to set an approximate power setting of 2,000 RPM. So if I'm setting about 2,000 or above, I don't need to put my
Alpha Romeo, it's basic service with the
carby on. In fact, I'm going to come back a little bit less than that, so maybe about 17 or 1800. So I'm going to put my carby on. All I'm doing now, that's not a great visibility, is it? All I'm doing now is selecting an approximate attitude and then trimming that. So I'm not paying any attention to my instruments at the moment. So if you remember, I'm targeting 90 knots and 500 feet per minute. If I have a look over here, I happen to have 90 knots and 500 feet per minute. Now, if I wanted to increase my speed, what would I do?
Afternoon.
Forward pressure on the control.
Right, so if I push forwards, select a different attitude, retrim, you can see the speed increases to 90, 95, and the rate of descent also increases. If I want to reduce the rate of descent, all I do is squeeze on a little bit more power. So let's say I'm going for 100 knots and 500 feet per minute. Again, just by approximation,
Roger, traffic service, vectoring for
I'm going to set an approximate power setting and an attitude, and there we go, we've got 100 knots and 500 feet per minute. We get to the point though where if I squeeze any more power on, then the rate of descent is just going to reduce back to 0, and for me to maintain 100 knots, I'm just going to have to ease back on the control wheel. You can see now we're level 100 knots.
0401, Golf.
And that's the cruise power setting. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just climb us back up again. Oh. Just going to turn us around as well.
November Lima Bravo, what's your point of departure, please? Biggin Hill, Lima Bravo.
Might get a better visibility and a better picture if we're not up sun.
Denham 3461, fly heading 230 degrees.
Heading 230, Denham 3461.
And Denham 3461, you're entering controlled airspace, radar control service.
Alright, let's just level off there.
Golf November India, contact Leeming radar 133.375, good day.
Leeming 133.375, thank you, good day, thanks you.
Alright, that'll do. Alright, so you have control.
I have control.
Don't worry too much about heading, we'll just head in this general direction. All I want you to do is descend at 90 knots and 500 feet per minute.
90 knots, 500 feet per minute. Should look around, T's and P's, carb heat on.
Yeah, and I would leave it on because we're anticipating to be below 2,000 RPM.
Okay.
Okay. That's it, so just set an approximate power setting and then select an attitude, trim, and then let's see what happens, let's see what we've got. Alright, so we've got 500 feet per minute,
yeah,
but we've got 100 knots. So we're looking for 90 knots. Okay, so instead of chasing everything, just readjust it. So readjust your power, let's bring it back maybe a couple of hundred RPM. Typically for 100 RPM, you'll get a 5 knots change.
Right.
So a couple of hundred, you're going to get about 10 knots. And then again, just reselect an attitude, retrim.
Bravo, could you adjust to altitude 3,500 feet?
And let's see what we've got now. So we've got 500 feet a minute, that's great, rate of descent. Speed's 5 knots too fast, it is washing back a little bit, so let's just see what happens. Let's leave it, let's let the aerodynamic forces settle down slightly, keep having a really good look out. And then let's just check again, so we're 95 knots, so you just need to...
There is on traffic, west of you, half a mile eastbound, on information.
Copy traffic looking Golf X-ray Oscar. So you just need to slightly readjust your attitude, put your airspeed, and then retrim again. And that's marvellous, that's bang on, you've got 90 knots, 500 feet per minute, okay? So it just took us a little bit of checking, adjusting and retrimming.
Couple 2 on hand of Newcastle at 4,000.
Lovely, so we'll level off there.
Cutthroat 2, Durham radar.
Remember to level off, you need to take your car beat off and its power attitude trim.
Traffic service, Cutthroat 2.
Cutthroat 2, traffic service you have and report your intentions.
That's your cruise power setting,
Cutthroat 2
which is quite significantly higher than what we're at already.
Cloud brake if required.
Cutthroat 2 understood.
Okay, lovely. Okay, so we'll go back into the climb again.
Okay. Good look around, engine T's and P's. Power heats off. Power on, all the way up, into the climb.
Cutthroat 2, can you accept the heading?
Confirm, Cutthroat 2.
Cutthroat 2, fly heading 190 degrees. You will get traffic to the south-southwest of you by 4 miles with me at 2,400 feet, not above 3,500 feet, and there is further traffic just to the left of you, 12 o'clock, northwestbound, 3,500 feet, also with me.
Cutthroat 2, copy all, steady 190.
Cutthroat 2, Roger, once you're clear of the traffic, I'll give you descent.
Cutthroat 2.
Just going to take control, just have a good look out.
Okay, yeah, control.
Take the fuel pump off as well, because the fuel pressure was a little bit low before.
Denham 3461.
Oh, aircraft coming across us.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's no problem.
Altitude 1,080.
It's a Hawk.
Yeah.
1,800 feet, Denham 3461.
About 1,000 feet above.
We're probably over that gas venting site, but we are at 3,000.
2 degrees unknown traffic in your 12 o'clock range of 1 mile westbound, correction, eastbound to no level information.
Cutthroat 2, look. Cutthroat 2 is visual with that traffic down the left-hand side of around 3,000 feet.
Was that the one just past us there?
November.
Say again?
Was that Hawk, that trailer that just passed us?
Yeah, will have been, yeah.
No level information.
At copy, Lima Bravo.
Quite busy.
And November 5 Lima Bravo, there is further traffic just to the right of your 12 o'clock range of 2 miles manoeuvring, indicating 3,100 feet.
That's also copied, Lima Bravo.
Okay, you have control.
I have control.
I just want you to descend now at 80 knots and 500 feet per minute. Alright, so just do the same thing as what before. Just go pat the cat, that's it. Pat the cat.
5,500.
Good look out. Aircraft's drifted away from us now.
22, jet stream 41 miles.
Denham 3461, turn left heading
Engine
140
T's and
degrees.
P's. Car beat on, staying on.
3461.
Power down.
65 Lima, identified at
Approximate power.
upon leaving, maintain altitude 5,500 feet.
Light trim.
Maintain altitude 5,500 feet, and we are visual with the field request.
Sorry, 90 knots you say?
80.
80, apologies, 80 knots.
3753.
3753.
We're at 500, it's dropping down.
Dispatch 65 Lima, standby.
Slight power. Adjust. Trim again.
Okay, so
Harder this time.
yeah, typically for this you're going to probably need a little bit less power, so just bring it back another couple of inches, leave that power where it is, and then just raise the nose ever so slightly to decelerate. Try not to trim just yet, just raise the nose a little bit more,
080 degrees, close to localised.
and then trim that attitude there, and don't even look at your instruments just yet.
Yeah, not looking at them.
Let's see what happens. So give it 5 seconds now, let's have a look. So we're at 85 knots and we've got 200 feet per minute, so all you need to do now is just make tiny movements just to adjust that, to correct that. So for 85 knots, to slow down to 80, just need to ease back slightly on the control wheel. Trim that now, so actually physically trim it, but don't let the nose drop back down again as you do. That's it, that's great. And now let's have a look at the power, the rate of descent, 300 feet per minute, so you can just slightly, so you need to just reduce your power if you want to increase the rate of descent. Yeah. So just by 100, and then keep the picture looking the same, trim as necessary, so don't let the nose drop, actually trim again.
Dispatch 65 Lima, you are cleared for a visual.
And look at that, you've got 500 feet per minute and 80 knots.
A Falcon 50 on a 5 mile final for runway 05. There is a Hawk in your right 1 o'clock range of
That's great.
5 miles.
Okay, just give me a turn to the right. Clear left, centre and clear right. Start routing back.
Denham 3461. Circuit is active, right hand runway 05. Contact Durham Tower 119.8.
198, I have no decaf, so we're looking for the traffic.
I'm certainly getting myself confused there with speed and
Okay, yeah.
power and everything.
Don't worry too much. I mean, we'll go over
Trying
it.
to remember the cycle. Let's get
Yeah, we'll level off at 2,000 feet. So you can roll wings level. Car beat goes away. And it's pat for cat again. So quite a lot more power, a lot more, bit more, about there.
Caution wake turbulence, recommended distance is 4 miles.
Copy, 565.
trim it off. There we go.
That's great.
It's about 65 limits. We're still not visual with that traffic yet.
And then if you just come a little bit more, you see the A1 just down here. We'll just stay slightly to the right of the A1.
800 feet.
And then we'll head towards the wind turbines as well.
Okay.
Negative, we are visual now, it's fine.
And then you can climb us back up to 3,000.
3,000.
2, Squawk 0422.
0422,
Power on. There we go.
Golf Alpha Romeo, Squawk 7000.
Copy. 2 is stalking 0422 and visual field at Leaming.
Control 2, Roger, contact Leamington 3, bye-bye.
Okay, thanks.
Flight 65 Lima, number 1, just on a 1.5 mile final, contact Durham Tower 119.8, bye-bye.
So Tower 119.
You can level off at 2.5, that's fine actually. That'll do. Okay, great. So we'll just recover back. So what you'll have seen there is that the power setting and the attitude that you set gives you a certain performance from the aircraft, and you can change that performance depending on your inputs to the power and to your attitude as well. And you can achieve a certain rate of descent and airspeed.
Golf Alpha Romeo, Durham.
Golf Alpha Romeo.
Golf Alpha Romeo, suggest you Squawk 7000 and free call Newcastle 124.375.
I'm just going to go to Derwent Reservoir and then head south towards Barnard Castle, so if I could stay with you, that would be more convenient. Golf Alpha Romeo.
No, she didn't like that.
So we're just heading straight for Sedgefield, which is on the nose.
Golf Alpha Romeo, report your maximum altitude.
Maximum altitude will be 3,500.
Power setting's a little bit low. You can hear by the sound and the feel of it.
Roger.
Doing 9, so you just squeeze it a little bit, another couple of hundred more.
Okay.
So a little bit more, up to about 24. Can you hear the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. And to maintain level, you'll just need to put ease forward slightly on the control wheel as you speed up. You just need to reduce that angle of attack.
Golf Alpha Romeo for Newcastle, can you accept not above altitude 2,500 feet until you're clear of controlled airspace?
Affirm, Golf Alpha Romeo. Radar, 487.
And then if you just come just over towards Sedgefield, just down there.
Okay. Papa 487, Durham Radar, identify traffic service you have.
Traffic service, 487.
Golf X-Oscar, just approaching Sedgefield, request VFR rejoin.
Golf X-Oscar, clear to enter controlled airspace, VFR, runway 05, QFE 1018.
Clear to enter controlled airspace, VFR runway 05, QFE 1018, Golf X-Oscar. Okay, yeah, so we'll set the QFE now as we're just coming visual with the airfield. And this is a join for runway 05.
Okay.
So I'll just put 05 on the OBI here just to remind you it's 05 and not 23. So we'll expect to join on a left base for 05. So here we are, this is the VRP, the published VRP, so this is where we're entering from. And just come slightly to the right. You can just see the reservoir in the distance, that's where the airfield is.
Yep, see it.
So we'll track towards the reservoir, but we'll aim just to come slightly more towards Darlington as we get closer so that we can keep clear of the circuit, unless we're given other instructions. You can't quite see it because of the glare, but we'll just stay level at 25 for the second. So if you just want to what's your altitude there? Just get back up to 25.
Golf X Oscar circuit active right hand, contact Durham Tower 119.8.
Copies air traffic and Tower 19.8, Golf X Oscar, bye. Durham Tower, Golf Charlie, Echo X-Ray Oscar, rejoin via Sedgefield.
65 Lima for Cape Bravo, Park stand 3.
Cape Bravo, stand 3, select 65.
Golf Charlie Echo X-Ray Oscar, Durham Tower, join report left base 05, QFE 1018, 2 in.
Join report left base 05, QFE 1018, copy circuit traffic, Golf X Oscar. Okay, so we've got Newton Aycliffe just coming up on the right here, and you've got Darlington just over towards the to 1 o'clock as well.
Okay.
Range of about 8 miles. So we want to give lots of space for the circuit traffic. Okay.
Yep.
So we'll just start turning in slightly towards Darlington, just keeping to a little bit north of the airfield, and you can start to descend down to 1500 feet, and you can descend down at 500 feet per minute and 90 knots.
Okay. Look around on. T's and P's copy on. Just about.
And you can turn right a little bit more towards Darlington. That's great. Okay, so you've got 500 feet, but you've got 95, so you just need to readjust your attitude slightly and then retrim. That's great. So it might slow down a little bit more, so just make sure that you have got an attitude which looks like we're descending, so just ease forwards on the control wheel a little bit just to keep the picture looking the same. Okay. You can see the airfield just over there to your left, 11 o'clock.
Seen, yep.
About 5 miles. You see this industrial area just to the south of Darlington.
Yeah.
Over there, we'll head towards that way now.
Okay.
Okay, so as we're approaching 1500 feet, we're aiming now to descend down to 1000 feet, so we want to switch the fuel pump on.
Fuel pump on.
And we can also carry out the pre-landing checks as we're just approaching base. So pre-landing checks, toe brake pressure's checked.
Golf Alpha Whiskey for Cape Bravo.
And we'll descend down to 1000.
Bravo, stand 1, Golf Alpha Whiskey, yes, thank you.
Parking brakes off, mixture's rich, carb heat's on, fuel pump's on, landing light recognition light on, engine T's and P's checked, and fuel contents checked around the left tank, and fuel pressure in the green. So if you put your hand now on the control wheel, sorry, on the throttle.
I was already on there.
And then just come, again, just slightly to the left towards the industrial area.
Okay.
That's great there, you can roll wings level there, we'll keep coming down to 1000. Looking for any circuit traffic, so this is where we have got to really look out for now. And he's on final, okay. He can level off at 1000 feet.
Left at the threshold 23.
So remember to level off, it's power attitude trim.
Continue, Tango Bravo.
Back into the Merc. So a bit more power. But not quite as much.
Touch and go, surface wind 3.
Not quite as much as usual because we want to decelerate slightly. So about 90 knots in the circuit. That's looking good. Get your hand on the throttle. That's good. Should see the stadium as well. There it is. It's over to the right. So just come a little bit more right. You can see the threshold now.
Yep.
Okay, and then roll wings level. We just want to position ourselves. And you can start turning left now. We'll just position ourselves for base. Just having a really good look out. That's great there, you can roll wings level there. So we're just joining the base leg now. We're just going to directly enter the base leg, and then from there we'll turn onto a heading of approximately 140, 150 degrees. When I say. So you can keep it 1,000 feet. And then just turn left now onto a heading of 150. Golf X Roscoe turning left base 05.
Golf X Roscoe, report fine.
Report final, Golf X Roscoe. That's fine there, it's just rolling over there in fact.
Golf Tango Bravo, okay, stop. Golf Tango Bravo.
Okay, so now you can come a little bit left 10 degrees. Right, your carby wants to come on now, so carby on.
Carby on.
Power back to 1700.
Carby off.
Sorry, yeah,
Carby.
it's carby on now.
That was on.
Power back to 1700. So chop the power back. There we go. It's about 15, 17. Now you're in the white speed, white arc. You can put 2 stages of flap on now. Check clear all along final.
1, 2. Keep moving that.
And then if you just turn left now, start intercepting the centre line, and just put your hand back on the control wheel. You just want a shallow turn there. And now what we're doing is we're using the specific aiming point technique. So now, to control the speed, you're looking for 70 knots on final, so your speed's good at the moment. You're controlling your speed with this, with the throttle. And you're controlling the picture with the elevator now. Okay, so this is a different technique, right? So we've got 2 stages of flap, we're just coming up to 600 feet, we're at 70 knots, that's great. And you see those markers just on the runway?
Yeah, I see.
See those little markers that look like ears, white markers?
Yep.
We're just keeping that looking the same in the windscreen, so you just need to push forwards ever so slightly on the control wheel, just slight movements, that's great. Coming through 500 feet, so I'm going to take the carby off here.
Hang on.
Golf X Roscoe final, 05.
Golf X Roscoe, clear land, surface wind 350, 7 knots.
Clear land, Golf X Roscoe. That's great, that's looking really good. You can even see the pappies, 2 rights and 2 reds.
Yep.
So speed's good. It is going to start to drop off this speed because we're coming on to the latter stage of final and you get a little bit of wind shear. So you may find yourself that you need a little bit more power. So start squeezing a little bit of power on, just a couple of 100 RPM, that's great. And just keep tracking the runway centre line, keep the picture looking the same with the elevator, that's really good. That's nice. And we're just going to use 2 stages of flap for this. We could use a final stage of flap, but we'll just keep 70 to 75 knots. So just reduce your power ever so slightly now. So you've got to be proactive with the power, keep easing forwards, that's really good. Squeeze back on the power, squeeze back. Squeeze back, so you're looking for 70 now, maybe coming back to 65 over the threshold. That's great, keep your wings level, that's good. A little bit of a crosswind. Keep the picture looking the same, that's really good. Now, this is the hardest part where we're entering into the flare.
Brilliant.
So, keep coming down, that's really good. Leave the power on, so keep coming down. Don't flare just yet. Now just start to ease back on the control wheel. Just hold it off. Keep holding back. Keep holding back. Okay. All right. So that was something of a flare anyway. Now you can go to idle power. There you are. You're at idle. And just keep your hand on the throttle. We're just going to taxi along the sensor line until we get to Bravo. That was a good approach.
Hang on. It was
Thank you, Bravo. Taxi back, Golf X Roscoe.
that was easier than the takeoff.
But do you see how it's how different it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's 2 techniques, specific aiming point, which is what we've just done, and non-specific. And we have got a bit of a crosswind, so we just got a little bit of aileron into wind there, and you just want to come onto the yellow line, so if you need to slow down, just use your brakes. That's great. That's fine, and then you can start turning off now. Glad we waited anyway, it's cleared up nicely, hasn't it?
It's brilliant.
And then you can straighten up your aileron because the wind's coming from in front of us now. Alright, so I'm going to take control.
You have control.
If you want to get your checklist out, you can do the after landing checks.
Okay.
Okay, I'll leave it to you. Okay.
Okay, pre-landing, we've done after landing, car heat set to cold, so that's off now.
Yeah.
Flaps are Up.
Okay.
1 stage, 2 stage, they're up now.
Yeah.
Trim is set to neutral.
Yeah.
We'll move up slightly, there we go, set to neutral. Throttle friction is loose. Leave that as it is loose. Fuel pump off.
Yep.
Lights, non-essential electrics,
Right.
lights are off.
Okay, so, doesn't even say, but you want your landing light and recognition light off now,
Okay.
and then you want the transponder onto standby. Okay.
Stand
There
by.
you go. I love how it leaves it till the last. It's like, oh, do this, and then just open the window, and then just make sure that you're warm enough, and cabin heat and defrost off. And then all the essentials things like avionics is left until you get back to the apron. Okay, so you have control.
I have control.
So that's your after landing checks complete. Get your hand on the throttle there. Okay. Okay, so I'll just take it from here.
Okay.
Cheers.
Your 2 o'clock will be waiting.
I know. Turn the strobes off.
Tango Bravo, final touch and go.
Golf Tango Bravo, clear touch and go, surface wind 350, 6 knots.
Clear touch and go, Golf Tango Bravo.
Don't know where we're gonna park it. I think we'll just park it here. Okay, so you have control.
I have control. I've missed a page. Right. Okay, I parked into wind, park and brake. On.
Okay, we'll leave it off for the time being.
right,
I'm just
fair
going to
enough.
keep my feet in it, and I'm just going to leave it at 1,000 RPM because there's some people walking around.
No worries.
I think they're behind us right now, actually. Turn up.
Okay. Ignition operates. Magnetos in turn if you want
Okay,
to. Is it?
so back up to 1,000, yeah, just check your
Okay,
mags.
set to both now.
Yeah, so
To the left.
to the left.
Drop that, did it?
Okay, yeah, it will do if you're going to
Yeah.
take it to 12, yeah,
Alright.
so drop those
To the
start.
left. Okay, let's drop, yeah. Back
Okay,
to both.
great, back to both, lovely.
To right. Drop, back to both. Okay, radios, master off.
Okay, so we'll just turn everything off here,
Alright,
bit by bit, there we go. Okay, what's next?